have this lady in the middle. Yep.
Hi Steve, my name is Cherish Liao from Astronauts. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you for Zelda has a few puppies. I saw it on Twitter, so I thought I'd just say congratulations. You seem very happy about it.
Yes, I had one grandchild this morning in Australia, and now I have 7 grandchildren. 6 more were born.
Yeah, so Steve, as an engineer, looking at, you are very excited about blockchain technology and analyzing how it may be applicable to many industries. My question is there any other engineering solutions that you have seen in recent years that, apart from blockchain technology, that you believe that people should focus more on it because it may bring a change, a more positive change to the community or a global change in future, maybe in your point of view? So that's my first question. Second question is, because earlier in your session you talked about Tesla a lot, mentioned about autopilot, automation and stuff. As an engineer, if you have an opportunity to improve Tesla or autopilot technology and stuff like that, what are the ways that you first pop into your mind that thinks that, hey, why didn't the engineer thought about this? Maybe they can solve it this way. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, things that I've seen. I have seen very impressive things in my travels around the world. But it's like, if I can't be a part of it, I can't hang on to it. I mean, all of us have lived through the important ones that have changed our lives so far. You know, everything from internet to mobile to blockchain and whatever. It's hard to tell very often which one of these things that are so different than before will succeed or fail, so I can't really give you any particular example. There is one particular technology to look at. Obviously, we all read a lot about biotechnology and modifying genes, and now genes storing memory. There's a lot going on in the storage. Data storage is half of computing, and there's a lot going on to improve that to whereby, you know, we can store all the information ever in the world soon on, you know, maybe a small little microchip or on disks. As far as, what was the second part? Just, you know.
Well, how would you like to solve certain engineering problems that Tesla, that you think they can make it better?
Solve social engineering problems, but Tesla automobile, the number one thing is I would not try to promote it to the world as self-driving, as a car that can drive all the way across the country and drive to your home and pick you up, and I would not promote it that way when it's so far even behind some other car manufacturers for self-driving. There are videos online. I also have a Chevy Bolt EV. It's an all-electric car, the second one that can go anywhere in the country, drive anywhere on long roads, go on long road trips, and they didn't solve the full problems that Tesla solved of getting around everywhere. But it's the car that I choose to drive every day. Why? It does the job and it's less expensive, more comfortable, a lot of little things about it. So Tesla has a lot of comments that make you think that self-driving is right there. There are videos online of, they've been driving 50 of these Chevy Bolts modified for self-driving. 50 of them have been driving themselves around San Francisco for over a year. You can find videos where they're driving at night, and when a raccoon, an animal, walks in front of it, the car slows down for the animal. I mean, I can find you videos online where somebody tested the Tesla where you summon it out of the garage and they put their young child in front of it. They had to grab their child out of the way because the car didn't stop. So Tesla, just be careful what you hear and how much you believe it. Elon Musk has been featured in movies and TV shows, always along the lines of you can't believe him.
And then, sorry, Steve, just like you mentioned about bioengineering, right? How excited are you about the idea of probably one day we can expand our memory through, like you said earlier, the chip and stuff like that, the uplinking of our mind with chips and technology, you know, like bioengineering? Thank you.
Ray Kurzweil wrote a book called Singularity, predicting when we might have a computer that can do as much processing as the brain. Doesn't mean it knows how the brain does it, works, right? But he wrote a second book after that called, Transcendence. Transcendence was devices that could go into humans to make humans operate better or be smarter. It actually get into your brain someday. And Transcendence had another feature. If you could tap the brain and load its data into a computer, it could be stored for you to come back to life at a later year. And I thought, wait a minute, if I'm in a computer and I'm conscious in that computer, you could clone me 1,000 times. I wouldn't want 1,000 identicals. No, but that's just joking a little bit. So I'm a fan. I like to follow this type of stuff. We have near where I live is Singularity University, and they just dwell on topics like this and the technologies that are getting us there. Now we got CRISPR technology modifying genes to explore changing humans. It's actually as dangerous an idea as AI if you want to be science fiction. What could it do? It could, I guess if the wrong bit of DNA got released, it could take down a lot of what exists. I don't know. So to me, it's more like humor. It's more like comedy. It's entertainment to study these things, but I don't see practical examples that shock me that much. Yeah, okay, you have little mouse that glows green. Okay, that's an accomplishment. It signifies that other things more significant might be coming. I love to follow that technology as much as I do artificial intelligence, but I don't really see the super concrete examples that change my life a lot. As much as even getting a cavity in a tooth.
All right. See how cool to Musa Hitam is. Like now you're recording us, now we are recording them, so now they have to smile. All right, can we have 2 more questions, please, from the audience? Can we have this lady at the front, brown? Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Amira Saidi from Morocco, and I work for Morocco World News. And my question, going back to Vincent's question, when he asked you about whether technology will take up human jobs, and you said that it already has and it will be and has been. My question is whether it will take up sort of traditions that human beings have been practicing, say religion, say the written the world, where will the image replace it, and will these sort of changes happen with the rise of technology and its advancements over time?
It's an interesting question. Fighting against culture is a much more difficult battle than fighting against jobs, finding out a way to do something better with technology than a job. Very difficult for people to give up culture. You've been brought up with it and trained with it from the time you were 2 days old, and influenced by it. So that's a very tough one to change. When environments change, though, sometimes a lot of culture and a lot of traditions change along with the environment. The digital technology that's in our lives now is equivalent to a change in environment. So yes, it could suggest a lot of new alternatives. Secondarily, the internet and the fast access through cellular to everywhere in the world, people are able to communicate with people outside of their local areas and outside of their cultures. And secondarily, one of the principles we have with a lot of change that's come, we have a lot of choices. We've talked about that today. And if you have a lot of choices, maybe you'll rethink your religious views or political or how you care about certain things. So I would say technology is a big factor. It speeds up, it increases. Everybody always sat around and occasionally said, no, I don't care for this part of my culture or my tradition, or I'm leaving, or I'm just going to be grumpy and unhappy. They always did that. There were always some, but now I believe it's accelerated and it's faster due to modern technology.
And is this sort of disruptive change positive, or is it in some way negative?
Well, I tend to consider the effects of technology change always positive. I do consider things like being aware of and living with different cultures in one place. That's my own personal value. I just believe in diversity and letting people live their way, even though they're next door to you and you live your way. I believe in that, but a lot of people don't. And I think we're in very divisive times, and I wish we could just all love each other. More love, less war.